Please join us for the opening hymn, number 21, For the Beauty of the Earth.
Thank
We bid you welcome. In this community of radical inclusion, we make space for what you believe and what you love. Your whole self is welcome here. In this community of open-hearted inclusion for all people, we do not expect you to think a certain way or restrict yourself to one set of beliefs. We only ask that you try to live a kindly, helpful life with the dignity proper to a human being. Welcome all who believe that religion is wider than any sect and deeper than any set of opinions. Welcome all who might find in our friendship strength and encouragement for daily living. We are so grateful you are here. My name is Beverly Church, and I'm the service leader today. My pronouns are she and her. Thank you for spending your Sunday morning with us, whether you're enjoying the service in person or watching online. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors today. After the service, we invite you to stay for coffee and conversation downstairs in our reception hall. Please take a moment now to silence your phones, but we encourage you to share your presence with us on social media. I have a few announcements. The used shoe fundraiser is ongoing. Please bring in your gently worn shoes. Also ask your friends and family to help, and there's boxes at the entrance of the church. The Crop Hunger Walk will be held on Sunday, May 4th at First United Methodist Church in downtown Farmington. Registration will begin at 1 p.m. and the walk begins at 1:30. We're asking for your support. Please sign up to be a walker or to make contributions toward UUCF's team. 75% of the funds raised go to Church World Service, which does great work around the world, and 25% of the dollars collected go to 6 local food pantries, including CARES, Hospitality House, Neighborhood House, Salvation Army, Zayman International, which provides halal food, and Yad Ezra, which provides kosher food. To contribute or join the walk, you can go to the website listed in the weekly email blast, the QR code that's included on the announcement slide, or contribute to a walker. Thanks for supporting the Crop Hunger Walk, and if you have any questions, please contact Yvonne Wyborny and check out the Crop Walk information display that's downstairs. There are several open leadership positions for the coming church year. We're looking for a vice president of administration and a Sunday services committee chair. You can contact nominating at uufarmington.org for more information. A friendly reminder as well to all parents or guardians of RE students to please pick up your child from the RE classrooms downstairs before heading down to coffee hour. A town hall will be held next Sunday after the service. You'll have the opportunity to hear from our leadership candidates and discuss the budget. Check out our social media on Facebook or Instagram, and also the UUCF website or emails for other announcements about upcoming events. And now we'll have the chalice lighting. Our chalice lighting this morning is a call and response litany. Reverend Karen and I will read alternate leader parts. You will respond with, "We pledge to transform our lives." Let's practice that together. We pledge to transform our lives. Great. For our Earth, our ancient mother, blue-green planet of the galaxy, harbinger of lives beyond measure, we honor you with our humble presence. We bow with humility and gratitude.
We pledge to transform our lives. For the plants that have sustained our bodies, wheat, corn, peas, tomatoes, peppers, soybeans, and so much more. For the live species providing rich protein, fishes, poultry, pigs, and beef, we offer our thanks for the circle of life. We pledge to transform our lives.
For the waters that give us daily life, from ocean depth to rocky cliffs, from Arctic ice to beaches and small streams, from lofty cloud to precious cup at our lips, we remember our dependence.
We pledge to transform our lives. For the mountains rising to challenge our greatest aspirations, for the deserts transformed in a torrent of rain, for the forests thick with trunks marked by rings of wisdom, for roots interconnected web, for the new life within the heart of a seed, our souls respond in awe. We pledge to transform our lives.
For the millions of species microscopic in the soils under our feet, to the pads, paws, and multi-toed, for the feathers and scales, for minuscule eyes open only under the moon's soft guidance, and for the lichen and mosses pushing into the leaves and rocks, we honor your existence.
We pledge to transform our lives. For all of us descendants of the first primates, for those who sleep under the same blessed skies, for those who breathe the same oxygen feeding our heart, for those who need love as much as us, and for those who yearn for the ease of compassion's release, we remember we are not alone. We pledge to transform our lives.
Please join me in our shared affirmation of mission, which is in your order of service. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. And now I'd like to invite up Argo Kramer for the message for all ages.
Hello, my name is Argo Kramer. I use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I am the religious education coordinator here. Today, I will be reading The Soil That Sustains Us by Ariel Aronson Eves. The dictionary defines soil as the upper layer of earth in which plants grow, or a black or dark brown material typically consisting of a mixture of organic remains, clay, and rock particles. But I like to think of soil as a community. There are three main mineral components of soil: clay, sand, and silt. There's also a little bit of organic matter made from decayed plant and animal material. When organic matter is really, really broken down so it can't decompose anymore, it's called humus, which shares a root with the word human. In addition to the minerals and organic matter, also in the soil are billions of microorganisms. Microorganisms are tiny, tiny, tiny little life forms like bacteria or fungi. These microbes, together with the roots of the plants, make up the community of the soil. Just like we humans need to get certain nutrients from our food to be healthy, so too do plants. Plants are sunlight powered to make their food out of air and water. But just like we can't live healthily only off of carbs, there are some nutrients plants need that they can't get through photosynthesis. Luckily, they've developed a system of exchange with the soil microbes. The microbes are able to break down minerals or capture nutrients from the air. In this and other ways, they get nutrients into forms that the plants can take up. In exchange, the plants feeds the microbes sugars. All this is happening under the soil's surface. This is what happens in healthy soils. This system of cooperation breaks down when the plants stop needing the microbes. Why would they stop needing the microbes? When we apply heavily chemical fertilizers, the plants get addicted to the quick fix. They are freed from the slow process of relationship building, of having to share. If the plants are annuals, they'll be gone the next year and the community system will have broken down. The next year's crop will need the chemical fertilizer to do well because the relationship between plants and soil microbes has suffered. It will take years to restore. But degradation is preventable, and restoration is possible. It just takes a lot of care and learning to see crops not simply as products we take out of the land, but of a valuable community. And that all starts with soil. Learning to see soil as more than just dirt. You might even think of it as sacred. So, to demonstrate this growth, cooperation, and community, I will call up our RE students to add seeds, dirt, and water to these plant pots, which will be given out at the end of service. So, for those willing and able from the elementary classroom, please come up and I will hand you a few seeds to place in the pot. These are our youngest students participating in RE. They are the foundations of our future and community. All right, you can come here. All right. So some of these will thrive in the sunshine and some of them will thrive in the shade. And these ones are super, super tiny, so I'll be very careful handing them to you guys. Okay. Here you go. Do you want to do this pot right here?
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
They are tiny.
Yeah. Your parents. And then you do this pot right here. Awesome. All right. Once you've done it, you can go take your seat. You'll leave your pot here. We got to add extra stuff. It's not done yet. You'll do this one. All right. Awesome. Yep. Thank you. You want to do this one? Here, leave your hand flat like that. There you go. Awesome. You can do this one. Do you want to do this one? Thank you. I'm going to call up extra people. Thank you. So now that all of the seeds have been added, I will next call up our next age group. Anyone willing and able from our middle school and beyond classroom, please come up and we can place dirt upon the seeds. So here, we have a small spoon. You can add a few. Yeah, that'll all need some. There you go. And then if one or two of you want to stay up, we'll also add the water afterwards. Yeah, just one. Awesome. So after we will place this dirt on the seeds that the elementary students have placed, like I said, these are the foundations of our community. These are our relationships with others. They all start with our youngest participants. If you've been in any RE classroom, you will always see that the older children are undoubtedly the leaders, whether they like it or not. If they are quiet, the children will be quiet. If they are loud, the children will be loud. So in leading your community, you can add just a small amount of water on the top of these. I have two of these, Adeline. And then if one of you wants to, there you go. Yeah, just a small amount.
Not a small amount.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. There you go.
Oh, that was good. Kids really should have followed me.
One of you want to give Killian the last couple? Awesome. I think those three need it. I think this one. Oh, just kidding. There you go. Awesome. Amazing. So through working together, just like how the soil has a community in and of itself, our community is giving these seeds a chance to germinate. Now we will sing our children and youth off to their classrooms with number 414 as we leave this friendly place. And if you are in a row with a rainbow arch, you can hold that up.
We make space every Sunday for authentic and vulnerable sharing, which helps to build this congregation into beloved community. We invite you to share what's going on in your life, to name your feelings and the people on your heart in need of prayer, good energy, best wishes, and other help. We invite you to get into your body and investigate what emotions you're experiencing, to share them as you feel called so we can help one another hold our joys, our grief, our in-between feelings. You're welcome to come and pick up a stone or stones from the table, infuse or charge it with your joy or sorrow, and place it in the singing bowl where its energy will ripple out to be held by all of us. If you'd like to verbally share something important on your heart, please come up to the microphone and speak directly into it. All are welcome to participate in any of these ways. We light 3 candles for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. One for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of the gathered community that can support you and bring you peace.
Let us take a few moments of space together in our meditation moment, and we'll begin by drawing your attention, energy, right here into this space, regardless of whatever it is you may have carried in here with you emotionally, that this is the time and place where you can let that go, even just for a few moments. So I encourage you to breathe into where you notice maybe you're just holding some tension. Notice that. And breathe into it and bring your attention fully here. Let's take a deep breath in together. And let that go. Let's practice sitting in the quiet together. Here on this day where we celebrate Earth Day, I would like to share with you a prayer from Laura Horton Ludwig. Please take this into your own heart. Spirit of life, Spirit of earth, Spirit of all that breathes and all that is, we love you. We love this planet and its people and its beings. We love this interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. We love it all, and we want it all to be well and blessed and healthy. But we are human, and as a people, our hearts are still small. So often our love and our sincere desire for the well-being of all is not yet enough to restrain our collective desire for more for ourselves, more money, more power, more things. So often we act in the service of that desire for more in ways that harm our fellow humans and the countless beings with whom we share this earth. And so often, even when we would do otherwise, we feel powerless. The problems are so big, the scale so enormous. What can one person or one small group really do? But today, let our prayer be for hope and our commitment to stay in the struggle, to do what is right as best we can each day, and to love you, Spirit of earth and ocean, stars and rocks, beings of every kind, not least our human neighbors, to love this glorious whole as we love ourselves, for we are you and you are us. Blessed be. Amen. Let's take another moment of a deep breath here and together. Feel the air coming through your lungs. And we'll remain seated and join in our meditation hymn, which is number 123, Spirit of Life.
We are in the midst of our stewardship campaign of What Will You Bring to the Pot? Would those of you who have submitted your pledge since last week, please place your vegetable, come up and place your vegetable on the pot here. And while you're doing that, we have an update on our pledge status. 72% of our families have pledged. Thank you to all who have generously pledged so far. The deadline was yesterday, but we will still accept your pledge. The executive board will be creating the budget for next year at this week's meeting and it will be voted on at the May annual meeting. If you've not submitted your pledge, please do so as soon as possible. Thank you for the gifts which we have received and the gifts which we ourselves are. May we truly be grateful. May we be committed to using these gifts to make a difference in the world, to increase love and justice, to decrease hatred and oppression, to expand beloved community, to share, and to keep sharing as long as we can. You are now invited to participate in the blessing of giving as the ushers come among you to accept the gifts of the congregation. You may also give online via the QR code on the back of the order of service. Thank you so much. That was beautiful. Thank you. Please join me in reciting the offertory blessing that can be found in your order of service. To the work of creating beloved community within and beyond these walls, we dedicate ourselves and our offerings.
See all your faces here at this congregation. We celebrate Earth Day. Isn't it amazing? I really believe that Earth Day is our Unitarian Universalist holiday. This is why we have the Earth Day concert and really build into it, because we have believed for a very long time, not just at this congregation, but throughout our entire denomination, going back to the addition of the seventh principle, we believe in the interdependence web of all of life, of which we are a part. So much of the time humans, act like somehow we don't matter, or that somehow we forget that the air we breathe actually comes from even other humans. We're all breathing in and out together. We are literally connected. Somehow we forget. So I love this ritual that we're going to do today. Is called a dirt communion, and it's a relatively new thing. You know, I think of how everything changes and evolves over time. Last week we had the Passover Seder, and we talked about like many things are the exact same for hundreds of years, and then sometimes there are little tweaks that come along, and then you also adapt to the place where you are, right? So in a new tradition in the world of Unitarian Universalism is a dirt ritual, which we've adapted to this congregation, which I will explain in a few minutes. So I want to tell a little bit about I came here in May of 2023. My wife and I moved here from Chicago, and one of the first things we enjoyed, we moved here in late April, and then so the first thing we really struck out to us, which some of you have heard me talk about, is my absolute love for the birds. And so the birds come to our window, and then we started adding more and more bird feeders until we had like 10 bird feeders. And so our apartment complex finally said enough of that. So we cut back a few. We have kind of a compromise with them, but we still love the birds. And last week I was in a meeting with some of our colleagues, and the opening kind of check-in question is, what is your harbinger of spring? What is the thing that you look forward to the most? And my thing was a couple of days ago, maybe a week or so ago, seeing the first red cardinals coming. And so the way that seeing that flash of color, that reminder that everything changes, the world continues to evolve and change. The buds are a little bit of trees. You can see the green coming out now. And then we know in a few weeks it's going to look totally different than this. Somehow that sense that the earth remains the same, the seasons and cycles will continue on, to me, its own source of comfort and strength. This month we've been talking about joy, and joy is a spiritual practice. And I was thinking on, when I was contemplating on the service, a reminder of a long time ago, my mom used to sing one of the Psalms, is singing about the joy of the Lord is my strength. So I hear her singing all the time in my head. And so I thought, the joy of the earth. The joy of the earth is also one of my strengths. I hope that it's one of yours. Many of you I have talked with have talked about many of the things that resonate with you, that you see as part of what brings you joy, and those connections to seeing the earth when you drive up and seeing these trees. Like, what does it feel like? This is home. What is this space? And thinking many of us have lived in other parts of the country, or maybe even the world, and how those places call to us. Like, there's an emotion if you've been on various trips. Like, I've many years ago visited Sedona. Like, there's something about the Red Rocks. Like, what is that place? And we know it's an emotional connection, right? We have this emotional connection to seeing the dirt, the trees, the flowers, no matter what it is. And that helps us to feel more connected, more grounded, more joyful. You know, I remember many times when I have visited zoos or aquariums, and then they talk about the reason why they do what they do is not just taking care of these animals with the conservation, and they want people, and they focus on children, but I always think there should be adult days at zoos and aquariums too, right? So, because it's not just about children. Like, we think that only children should be wondered and amazed at, like, the pufferfish. But I hope that all of you are still amazed at pufferfish. Like the amazingness of the octopi, who they have like brains at the ends of their, I mean, that's amazing. where we have seemed to have lost as adults our ability to just take joy and wonder in even the tiniest moments. And thinking about the seeds and like the dirt, as Argo was describing, all the ways, all the micro communities underneath everything that we are experiencing because we are connected to that. How can we slow down and pay attention and feel all of that? So I want, in this focus where it's just an individual reminder of that, and also thinking about the ways that we, as a climate change, our denomination did a climate revival this past fall. We instead participated in the Get Out the Vote program instead, but I also wanted to bring some of what they've been talking about and we've been thinking about as a larger faith movement. We've been thinking about the way that everything connects, all the intersections across everywhere, about people being displaced from their homes due to climate justice issues, people having to leave not just their homes, entire countries having to move. How is it what we do might affect them individually, and also what can we do in the future if people need to be taken in? What are we going to do to help others? It's interesting, Michigan, because we're not on a coast, aren't directly affected, but some of us think that eventually people will start moving into some of our inland Midwest states. How are we going to help them? There's this whole movement of climate justice refugees. How are we going to be supportive? How are we going to build that intersection and see that we literally are all connected? The destruction that happens in one place affects other people somewhere else, even if we don't actually personally see it. So I want you to think about all of these ways that we are connected. And so I wanted to think on the ways that the little small things, like the seeds. So I went to Farmer John's and got like this side. These are seeds that are shade seeds. If you should come up here. These are little teeny tiny seeds. When I got them, put them in, I thought, wow, just amazing what's going to come out of a very, very small piece. And then on this side, these are shade flowers, and also small, but a little bigger. And so you'll see some of these here. It's too many to read through the list. It's a variety. But the ways that we are all connected through that, and so I put the shade seeds over here because I don't want to make assumptions about what sunlight you have available. So that's what I have them on this side. And then what is in this bowl is organic seed starting mix that I also got at Farmer John's. But underneath all of that is dirt from this property. So our custodian, David, he went and dug out like a big bucket full of dirt for me. And then I put dirt from our property in the bottoms of each of these biodegradable little pots that are, okay, a little wet, but that's okay. Because we wanted to make sure, because last night I put the dirt from our property, a few seeds, and then some of this organic seeding start. And then this morning we added some water just so it wouldn't like toss around dirt as people were walking around. So I wanted you to be able to literally take something home that is from UCF, from this property that all of you love so much. And you will be able to take this home and put it, maybe if you don't have a backyard, maybe there's a pot that you can put it in. There'll be plenty for everybody to come pick up, at least one as you come through, and then two afterwards if you would like. There'll be plenty, I'm sure. So my hope is with this dirt communion, for anybody new to UCF today, many UU congregations are talking about Easter today. we do not focus on Easter, but how I'm thinking of it is that the thoughts coming to me, instead of my body broken for you, as would be saying in an Easter service, this is the ground from this church, the ground from this building, these stories, this property, the stories of the Gibson family who donated this land for this church to be put on. You can take this dirt that comes from these people who gave this land, and then we are all connected in yet another way. And my hope is that it continues to help you feel connected and feel a greater love for all of these people and then everyone going out. So these are both pollinators so that you can attract, I'm sorry, these are not pollinators. These are the shade flowers, but I'm sure that there will still be animals who will be interested in what you put up there, because we have these connections, right, with birds and bees and everything else out there. So for our dirt communion today, I wanted you to think about the dirt, of course, and about the teeny tiny seeds, the impacts we have on each other from something very, very small. And like our interconnection can be a few words we say to each other that we just don't know. What is that impact going to be? What are the things we're going to purchase or not? And I try to think a big picture, what are individual things we do, but also in thinking on intersections, what are things we can do to encourage corporations to be more earth-friendly? So I'm just sharing a few things, like these are some small things that I do. So this is what's called a stasher bag. You can buy these at Meijer. So, you know, like many of you, I'm sure, have re-washed, reused my plastic baggies a bazillion times. And I also like this because it closes up. And then these are laundry detergent strips. And I like these because one of the things that I focus on in the reduce, reuse, recycle is the big part on reduce. Like, do I need all this plastic, the bottle for the detergent? How can I cut back on that? And like, what are the ways that we can stop that? And also, how can we impact others? So, for example, May 17th, the interfaith community in Farmington, we've been invited to participate in helping to clean up at Heritage Park. So that is one way we can literally get our hands in the dirt and be out there and help be connected. And we're also connected to other people. So for this dirt communion, I'm going to invite everybody to come up and to take whichever pots from you are interested in, the shades or the full sun, and you're going to walk up and just be able to take this back home and go sit down, and then we will bless the pots that you have received. But I have to give a little bit of instruction, okay? All right, because one of the things that we love here is the snare drum, right? So, but the big challenge, though, that we love with the snare drum, and it's also a little challenging to walk around. I see Mike coming around if you want to. Okay. So what I need is for everybody on this side, when we start, then you'll stand and then circle that way around and up and then back to your seats this way. This side, all of you will stand and come around and back to your seats that way. Everybody's going the same direction that way. Everybody's circling around this way, but not over here because I don't want anybody tripping, okay? All right, so I'm going to encourage everybody to start from the back, and our ushers will nod for you to come up. And if you want to go ahead and play. Thank you. If you are holding a pot of dirt, I encourage you to put your hands around it. If you did not come up, that's fine too. You can still put your hands out and it just sends this blessing to the earth. In the knowledge that we are all of us imperfect, but come together in communities of grace, in the belief that we humans share an origin and a common destiny, in a sustaining faith in human redemption and growth, in the wisdom of science that tells us dirt is an important part of our own health and happiness, in understanding that all living creatures are connected and have a right to healthy soil, in hopes that we all continue to grow together in mind, body, and spirit, we bless this dirt. May we never forget our connection to the earth, air, water, sun, and seeds. May we truly commit through our love for the earth and each other to transform ourselves and our precious planet. May it ever be so. Please join in singing our hymn as we celebrate the web of life, which is on the back page of your order of service.
Our closing words: we are Unitarian Universalists who hold love at the center of our lives. Let us love our earth, take action to consume less, use less energy, respect water, and be a cooperative, collaborative, and creative community like the moss and the mushrooms. Our children's lives depend on us. Blessed be. Our service has now ended and our work begins.
Aye.